speaker. There you go.
What is going on, guys? I think we're live now. Yeah, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the NFL Sunday Night Football live stream with Big Ryan the Fat Guy. We got the Washington football team taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Fat Guy, how did you do today?
I did great. I took a bunch of bets on Cleveland. So I had Pittsburgh plus 10 at plus 110. So a lot of the guys took Cleveland minus 10, minus 110. So that was nice. And I really wanted Cleveland to get in the playoffs just from, look, I went all out today. I had the old shirt, the hat, the jacket, the whole thing today. That was nice. And then I took bets on Seattle. So I had San Francisco plus 7 at plus 110. I got to be honest, so that would have been a really disgusting result if San Francisco wasn't able to get the back door. They had it sewn up. They were up 10 with 7 minutes left and plus 7. Oh.
Hey, Mud.
So yeah, it was a good day for me. So I have a lot of action on this game too, but we'll see.
What line are you on?
So I have personally Washington minus 1. Washington money line at like plus 104.
Yeah.
But I took two bets on Philadelphia plus 7 minus 110. So I have Washington minus 7 plus 110 for not crazy money, but decent. So we'll have to see. Now I didn't think, like, it's weird. This is the only time that these guys have taken an underdog. So I almost set it at 7.5, and I'm really glad I didn't. So
Yeah.
because that I would have clown makeup on there. So
I'm guessing the playoff picture is done, other than who gets in between Washington and
yeah,
Philly.
and no, Washington and New York.
Oh yeah. Let's I'll be working on some stuff while we get this stream going.
Yeah, I pushed with the Jags. I imagine everyone else did too.
Line closed at 15.5, so anybody betting
shit.
last minute would have had a win there.
Yeah. Oh, geez, you guys jerks. Good prices, mud zaps. It's fantastic. Jealous. I was jealous. I was too busy on the phone this morning to get that extra point, which is what I would have wanted. Yeah, I have a bunch of. I need Washington to do well, basically, Josh. Wayne Gallman almost made a costly.
Yeah, that was something. There's an interesting thing that has happened on the Action Network, but it looks like them and Pinnacle had a falling out because there is no longer Pinnacle lines posted on Action Network's website, at least
That's
on their
really bad.
public betting. But we do have 14,000 bets on this game. The Washington football team has been bet up to 6.5-point favorite. 61% of the money on Washington. 62% of bets are on Washington. 75% of the money is on Washington. Alex Smith is starting this game. At least he was reported to start. I'm not sure as of this moment, but he was scheduled to start. I'm not going to be doing any action on tonight's game. I think this is a 5-star entertainment game. I'm going to be cheering on the Washington football team to win, but I'm not going to be betting Washington. If anything, I would be looking at the Eagles, but there's not enough contrarian play on the Eagles for me to jump on them.
Zachard's last game as an Eagle. That's very possible.
They kept talking about that in updates that I saw on Ertz, but I wouldn't make too much out of it.
That's a sick middle, Zaps.
That's pretty nice. Key numbers of 3, 4, and 6. You gotta like that.
That's worth it. That is a very plus EV play. That's a sharp move. I know someone who did that as well. He didn't get 1.5 though, so he got 1. The place where I was, the guy asked, "Is Akeem Hicks a big guy?" One of the guys at the place I was watching, and I was trying to explain to him, with me as a benchmark, that I'm a pussy compared to the size of that guy. I can't think of a bigger player than Akeem Hicks. Can you?
Like size wise?
Yeah, like in the
Poe.
NFL. I don't know though. That's close even. Depends which barbecue version of Poe even. I like how we say that like as it's a joke and it's not.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize Akeem Hicks was 6'4", 352 pounds.
Yeah, and he looks every bit of it.
Well, like how he plays, I would have thought he's 320, but no, that's unreal. It makes sense why he's so good. Tony Meatballs himself is on the over at 42. 62% of bets, 66% of the dollars wagered are on the over. Yeah, that's true, Zaps. It was the news that Josh Allen, they said that Josh Allen wasn't going to play very much, and that line moved like crazy, and it didn't matter. Max is on the Eagles first half plus 3.5. Tony, if you go to the community tab on the membership page, there's going to be a link. I'll post the link on there right now.
Wonder what the odds are for him to make comeback player of the year. Is there anyone in contention?
I'm not too sure.
Nice work, Saravu. Scary Terry's playing today. That's nice.
This game's scheduled to kick off in 3 minutes, so if you haven't yet, make sure you guys get your wagers in.
Please retain all tickets. I always loved when the racetrack guy said that.
Yeah, Zaps. There was a few people in Discord talking about the Wizards today, so good luck on that play. Saravu 3-1. It was a good day for us.
It was a good day. Hello, Mickey. How are you, sir?
Did they announce that Adam Gase is gone? Is that news now, or are you just making an assumption, Josh? What's going on, Mickey? Big Ben's also in contention for comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Tony Meatballs, if you check the community tab on our YouTube page, you'll be able to see the Discord link. John Daniel, I'm not on anything today in this game. Fat guy, you got any advice or someone trying to get a pick in 30 seconds?
I'm not big on anything right now. Like if I had to bet, I've already made them. So at a closing line, I don't really like anything. Sorry, John. We'd love to tell you. I'd love to give you good news, but that's the thing. It usually isn't.
It is disgusting.
It's nothing. It's a nail fungus.
Yeah, it does feel like a lot.
Yeah, I'd be leaning towards the Eagles at 6.5, but I'm not putting any money on it, so I'm definitely not gonna recommend.
No skin in the
day.
well. No skin in the game, as Talib would say. That's a good book, by the way. Skin in the game. Charlotte. I don't believe Gibson is in. I think just McLaurin. Antonio Gibson has the hyperextended his toe, turf toe. So he's a really good player. Oh, he is active. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful. They need him. They really do need him. Yeah, I know. Turf toe though apparently really hurts. I don't really get it. But I don't know. I've never had it before. I've broken a toe and played through something when I was skinnier, but who knows? Pinnacle. Had carpet toe once. It wasn't bad. Yeah, it was an interesting one. That's for sure. God, I'm really glad Cleveland is in the playoffs. I don't know. It's just since I've been a fan, it's never like it hasn't happened. It's nice. Of course, I didn't want them to win by too much, but they did. They did win. Hello, football hands. Hey, Miami had their hands full. They had a great season. Nothing against Miami for not making it. They had a great season. I would love what I was seeing from Herbert. This is nice. That was an easier bet, I thought. LAC minus 3.5. Although I did feel a little weird, like when they went down 7-0 to start the game.
Zaps, I'm not going to recommend you take the Warriors, but I would say that there are betting market indicators that would push towards taking the Warriors.
We're doing our best not to tout. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Here we go. So yeah, I don't know. How did we do in the contest?
7-8 today, or 7-8 so far, and then I think we probably have like Washington minus one or Washington plus one, whatever the number was in the contest. Washington minus 1.5 is the contest play.
That's a good matchup. It was a linebacker on Boston Scott. You know what, though? I have a question about that, Big Right. If you have a linebacker on Boston Scott, wouldn't you not want to run a vertical route? Like, wouldn't you want to do like a speed crossing route?
I was thinking there's a lot of routes where they put these small backs on the they put them on the outside, like the far outside, and make them catch it like essentially on the sidelines on those deep routes, and it just doesn't seem like
doesn't make sense
the most optimal way to use it. I understand what they're trying to do, but
oh, now I always wondered. Now there's a flag coming in. That's so difficult on a defender. Well, Fitzmagic wasn't available, Taylor. I find it odd, like just as like when I was a big, when I played sports, I couldn't imagine it's that much different. The bigger guys in a straight line situation are often even at an advantage against the smaller guys. Whereas if it's something quick across, there's no way you could keep up with a small, agile guy. God, that's not even his fault. 55. It's just like, what are you gonna do? Going back to Tua. I see the Finns sticking with him, but I also see the Finns covering their bet, hedging their bet by taking a quarterback in the first round next year.
Miami is going to be picking 3rd overall in the draft. I have a tough time imagining they're going to pass up taking another quarterback.
Or trading down. They're going to get something huge for that.
The only thing is that Jacksonville and the New York Jets are in front of them, and both teams, I guess technically the Jets don't need a quarterback, but if I was the Jets GM, I think I would be drafting a quarterback. So if they do end up taking a quarterback 3rd overall, they're probably going to be the 3rd team. Like they're going to get the 3rd pick of quarterbacks.
Yeah, that Texans game was scary for a bit, Zaps, and then they ended up taking the lead. Yeah, I had money on the Texans as well. I was a little bit like it's so weird how you're like cheering for the other team to score. You know what I mean? Or I was cheering for them to miss the field goal I was cheering for the Titans to kick a field goal. Like, it's so weird.
I had the same thing in the Vikings game where I was cheering for the Vikings to convert a 4th and 1 but not score a touchdown.
yeah. And you're like, it's But and if you're ever with people too, they're like, "But I thought you bet on that team." You're like, "No, I bet this number." You don't get it. Man, this Washington D line. That's another thing. Should you be running Boston Scott? I guess they don't have a choice. Like running Boston Scott into those monsters, I just don't see that. Like I don't see that working out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they are they've won 4 games this year. I agree with Taylor Scott. I'd be finding a new quarterback if I was the Raiders.
I don't think you have a choice there. That's what the difference.
You probably don't, but I still would rather have somebody else. I think the Jets would be well served to trade Darnold and draft somebody else.
I don't know what you're going to get for Darnold. 3rd round pick?
I think whatever it is, it's going to be like it doesn't matter really what you get for him. Like it does, but it doesn't.
You trade him for a 7th?
I'd keep him if I was going to get a 7th back. Yeah, the even if Jacksonville won today, they still would have had the 1st round pick or the 1st overall pick. But it is what it is. The Jets won 2 games.
No, I didn't. A lot of my friends had Clemson, though. I take it they didn't cover. I know they lost, but I don't know if they covered.
Ohio State blew Clemson out of the water.
Yeah, what was the spread on that game?
Clemson -7, and Ohio State won by, I don't know, 14, 21, something like that.
I saw some sharps on Twitter talking about that game. So
the Ohio State quarterback, I don't know anything about him.
Justin Fields?
I think that's his name. I just saw the highlights, but he looked really good. I don't see why teams wouldn't want to be drafting him as well. I have no clue if he's like a highly touted prospect or, a shitty quarterback. Can he even enter the league next year? You guys, I'm sure someone in chat will know.
Yeah, sharps. I saw the sharp guys I follow on Twitter all like Ohio State. So I haven't dedicated any time to that. So I never say one way or another in that spot. Give them some love. Well, I don't actually look that often. Okay, I'll plug a book. His name is Poker Joe. He wrote a book called Sharper. I've read that book. I don't think the book is super strong, but I think you'd be hard pressed not to pull at least 2 things out of it that you wouldn't have thought. There's something even I learned. I didn't really think. I never really put into the idea of a push frequency when you're doing a middle. So like how you can win one and tie one, and I never really calculated it that way. And now I do. So he added a few percentage points right there, which makes his book more than worth it. So I would suggest it because there isn't that much literature on sports betting that's worthwhile. You know what I mean? He's got some really hokey Excel formula stuff in there, which is like, I don't know, Big Rye's been ahead of him from an Excel standpoint for probably 10 years. And that was just amateur stuff, right? So I don't know why he put that in his book, but there are some ideas that are worth it. Nice. Washington, good start.
Taylor, today was a good day. I'm up 2 units today. Dawn and Mickey both like Mac Jones. I was thinking in my head, like, Carolina's a pretty good 5-win team this year, and then Atlanta won 4 games. So there's always going to be surprises every year.
Yeah. Ow. Oh, you nailed the Ravens? Interesting. I didn't really like that game, to be honest. Yeah, sometimes. I didn't even like it, so... What do you think the number is in that game, though? If you hammered the Ravens, and you must have liked the Bengals at like 16.5 at 17, though. Hit the running back. He's going to get it. Nice job, man. 20.5? That far? Surprised. They have lately, Max. Absolutely. J.D. McKissick has turned into a good player. Like, but that's the thing, though. When I say good player, it's not a star. Like, I wouldn't play more than $4 million for J.D. McKissick. Like, he's probably getting paid $1 million. And that's probably about right.
He's been a good fit for this offense, especially with Alex Smith.
And then there we go. Now he's limping on the sideline.
And now he's hobbling.
Nice run. Gibson is one of my favorite runners, I would say, inside the tackles. Hey, I'll be here, Tyler Fields. Oh, I know who that is.
Do you guys? I'm gonna ask weird questions right now. Do you guys know
What
if
a
the
play.
Steelers are gonna have fans at their playoff game?
What a run! What a play! How you doing, Tyler? Yeah, we got a couple Pennsylvania guys. They would know. This is a great reverse. I haven't seen a reverse ran like that. And it's 95 against the lateral speed of 15, which is what I was talking about too. Small guy versus big guy. The lateral speed is just a joke compared to both. Screen here. Logan Thomas. God, this is a nicely run offense so far. How many minutes we take off, Big Right? It looks like 6 minutes already.
I'm trying to remember if Philly even had a first down on their drive.
They got one because of a penalty.
Congrats on the Wizards plays, guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I thought Taylor Heineke did okay last week, though. That's not like... That's another thing I was trying to explain. I'm with a couple guys today that don't really watch football. They go, it's such a waste of a play, a run like that. Whereas I disagree. I think that, yeah, sometimes they're going to be a bummer, but it's not a negative play. It takes time off the clock. It extends the time of possession, and you do have a chance at a reasonable run, right? Because often that play is going to be 4 yards. Yeah, it's been a while, Tyler. Give me a shout when you got some time. Whereas that play did nothing, and it didn't keep the clock moving. So Belichick is more or less a master of clock management. I think Washington gets that concept though, because realistically, clock management adheres to a strong defense. And if you're Washington, I can't think of a better strategy considering you have one of the probably the most talented defense, maybe not the most polished yet, but it's definitely going to be. This looks good. Wow,
That was one of
Sims.
those downfield screen design plays where every guy pretty much took a guy out of the play.
He lacked a little bit of awareness though. I don't know why he didn't just run like diagonally to the other pylon, right? Like, because 82 blocked 3 guys. Like, why do you slow down? Why don't you just run diagonal and force?
Well, the guy would have caught him there. He was trying to make a cut back. He just did a poor job of it.
I get it. It was just a smaller guy. I would have just rather just ran. That's got to be a encroachment. Yeah, yeah, it was. Yeah. I like the Pats today. Think Stafford get traded? I don't know. I mean, I'd like him to. I'd like Stafford to find success because I think he deserves it. Like, I don't think that Detroit's lack of success has anything to do with his lack of effort or lack of talent. Wow, thank you. Oh, I got steak, bread she made, and onions and carrots. Wow. Wasn't expecting that. Owen Wilson, wow. This is a really long, impressive drive by by the Redskins. Or whatever, Washington, you know. I sure do, Mickey. I had to teach her though. Is that McLaurin? Yeah, it is. Right on. Hey, Jamie, number 1 seed Chiefs.
Anybody have a sports book that has the AFC, NFC future odds and Super Bowl odds?
I think Titans minus 2.5 max. That'd be my guess.
There was a look-ahead line of Baltimore minus 2.5 for that game. What books What books am I able to look that up at? Taylor, I always suggest Pinnacle because they offer the best odds. But there's so many things that it's going to be dependent on, so you have to do a little bit of research on like what you're able to get down where.
Deposit bonuses. Yeah, you can, Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor, we're in Canada and we use Pinnacle. No problem.
I got to be honest. I wish Carson Wentz was playing for my Washington bets. Because I don't think he would make it out alive this one, the way he's been playing this year. No mobility against this D line. Good luck to ya. Good luck. I think I'd rather be in a minor car accident if I had to be quarterback for the Eagles against Washington this game, or get in a minor car accident. I think I'd take the car accident. I really would. I actually think that Washington has a possibility of a playoff threat. Like them against the Bucks, I don't think that's that bad of a matchup. Because, for instance, from a handicapping perspective, if they get pressure on Brady, there's no way there's nothing you can do. Like the game's over pretty much. The defense is legit, for sure is. They only need to rush 4. That's the other thing too. No wonder they're good in passing yards. They only rush 4. Oh, tip drill. Rivera's never had this type of talent. Oh, Tony is tipping us off to a possible interception. That looked like a... Wow. That looked like offside, though. I got to be honest on Chase Young. That's not reviewable, so... Pick for the best defense possibly in the league. Oh, he did. It just hit Hearn in the curl in the hands. Wow. Wow. And you know what? Why don't teams do this? You have a strong receiving tight end, even though Ertz is right on the tail end of his career. Why don't you have a corner on him or a safety? Why is it a linebacker all the time? I guess it's a lot easier where you can rush 4, you know? It looks like McKissick is back in the game. Defensive Rookie of the Year,
Eerie
Max.
feeling
I
when
don't
you're
know
the
if
running back
that,
coming
like
flying
wouldn't that be
across
Chase
there.
Young? Chase Young made a Pro Bowl. Hello, football fans. Yeah, he's got a bit more weight to him though, Tony. And I think too, Big Rye, what do you think about Washington has kind of a stronger skill position team, oddly enough. Young, but on the rise, I would say.
I still think they lack depth at receiver outside of McLaurin, and Logan Thomas has been a nice little addition over the last half of the season. And then they're going to have to get it done underneath instead of with, second, third, fourth receivers. Terry McLaurin's always good, but I think it's actually pretty weak. There's a couple players we really
I think
like,
it's on the
but
rise, though.
Yeah, it's not like for instance, if they're going to be playing Tampa Bay, there's a big difference between the receivers on Tampa Bay and the receivers on Washington.
Oh, yeah.
But there's it's kind of like what you've said. I know Mickey mentioned it. Like, if they get to play Brady and they can pressure with 4, it's going to be a tough day for Tampa Bay to put up points. Yeah. So as long as Washington can keep the ball and keep the clock moving, cut down the amount of possessions and keep their defense fresh, like there's no reason why they can't upset Tampa Bay, because they're most likely going to be underdogs in the playoffs.
Yeah. They're going to be underdogs.
I'm just
the
looking
whole way
right now. Like, if I had to just put a base line out there, it's probably going to be like Tampa Bay -6, which is it's a pretty significant amount for a team that, like Washington, is going to be the home team.
Mickey has Bucks up -6.5.
Yeah, I'm more than fine with that. I wouldn't be surprised if the line is actually put out higher than that. Yeah, Tampa's defense isn't that bad either. Like, Tampa's D might be their road to victory in that game. Tampa Bay offensively might be able to just make less mistakes than Washington's offense, and that could be the difference. But we're way ahead of ourselves. Washington still has to win this game before they're even in.
Yes. They've had a nice start, though.
And if the Giants make it in, I think Tampa would actually be 8-point favorites.
So do I.
That's so awesome.
That's the best. That's the best when stuff like that happens. My favorite days, very rarely, usually used to be just me and my dad going to the racetrack, and my mom won big one time. The one time we all went, because my mom bet on the horses based on their names, and I don't know if my dad was happy or mad. All of his years of handicapping really just decimated in one fell swoop of a strategy. Congratulations.
Mickey, the NFL should be they should set their schedule before the teams get put into slots. Like, it should just be that the NFC 4 seed plays the NFC 5 seed at this time and this day. That way it saves them from any controversy like that. But they're going to wait. They're obviously going to get the whatever they consider the marquee games in the right time slots for TV, because it's all about the money.
Oh, hey, that's a great reason to be late to the stream.
She had 147 wins over the season. That's unreal.
I honestly go ahead.
That is unreal. That's so she hit it like 58%.
That's so
nuts.
awesome.
Well, this game will go over 44. There's a chance. It looks like it's on pace to. Yeah, another second early line look. I'm not sure if that's Zap's opinion or something he's found, but they've got the Ravens as 3.5-point favorites against the Titans. Yeah, I remember reading that as well, Mickey, the Kamara stuff being ready Sunday and not Saturday, and those are the breaks with how things are going. I think that was kind of the question on a lot of people's mind with playing during COVID is that like when playoffs come around, like I couldn't imagine the NBA Finals last year if LeBron's got COVID.
Yeah, that's a good point. That actually would be kind of an asterisk type. I like the Rams Zaps, but I don't know what they're gonna do at quarterback. So I might not bet. Might revisit that. That'll be a discussion between Big Ryan and I. With John.
Based off of very basic handicapping, Seattle should be 3-point favorites, but it's hard to say that the Rams are as strong of a team with Wolford as they would be with Goff. It makes it hard, but there's risk reward if you can be on the right side of it.
Get a good line, i.e. this line. Washington at -1 is a really strong line if you could have got that.
Well, the other thing too is that with COVID, it actually works against stronger teams because I think Alex Smith is quite the valuable player for Washington, but if Alex Smith is out compared to if Brady's out, I think there's a bigger drop off for Brady on Tampa Bay.
Or how about Aaron Rodgers?
Oh, Aaron Rodgers would be a big jump.
Giant.
They would have to, or I'm not sure if they would have to, but I'm pretty sure their only other quarterback is a rookie. Yeah, not everyone's going to feel that way about the Rams, losing Goff, but it's one of those things that you have to consider if you are going to handicap early on where you would set that line.
Nope. Oh, there's a flag. It might be against Kendall Fuller here. Arcega-Whiteside against Fuller. That doesn't seem like a good matchup. I want to see this again because that's a marquee corner against a really bad wide receiver. I don't know about that.
It looked like there's hand fighting on both sides.
Yeah.
That's a pass. I think I saw the worst ever roughing the passer call in the Vikings-Lions game today.
Yeah, I saw that one as well. I couldn't believe it.
Kevin Ray with the nice middling opportunity.
Yeah, that's been a popular one. A lot of middles this year that were available.
That would have been nice to Zaps. I know you said you already had a bunch on the Texans plus 7.5. And then you would have got the push. So you got the same result as you would have got even if you got that middle. Who do they have tonight? I'm not too sure.
Oh, Mickey got it as well. Good luck, guys.
Untouchable, he's got Philly.
Oh, it's bet contest? Yeah. Kind of like how Kerrigan approached that. Like, he looked like he was running downhill without a paddle, but like he did everything he could not to get a penalty, more or less, which I don't really blame him. One of those coverage guys has to come up there. Wow, Bostic, that wasn't good. When there's rear pursuit, Bostic should come down and force him to beat him, especially when a guy's running from behind and going to catch him on that when he slows down to make a move. I didn't like that play from Bostic. Good job. They gave him the first down. All right. Curl went for a punch out there, though.
Once had that one MVPS season, but it hasn't been spectacular from him otherwise.
It's the same season that they won the Super Bowl, really. So the team was just in general good. Wow, Scott in inviting contact there. It was fantastic, Taylor. I got to be honest. I barbecued some chicken wings earlier today. Made a hot sauce and a barbecue sauce as well. And Frank Reich, too. Wow! Wow! Woo! Woo! You want to talk about defense? Dude, that almost felt like Clowney against, who was it, Michigan? Wow.
Well, that's how you play that play. Like if you're the end, you should always attack the quarterback because, like, if they want to keep drawing up that play, you could just keep blowing up the quarterback.
No, 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 flag. What now? They've only got first downs from penalties. This is brutal, man. I gotta see this again. I guess. I guess. Yikes, man. Yikes. If mind you, if I had to pick a red zone defense, it would be this one. That was such a late flag. Oh man. 39 with a big shot. Scott isn't shying away from contact though, which is impressive from probably the smallest guy in the league.
I like what Josh Allen said about the Wentz situation. Like the Eagles might have shot themselves in the foot, but the thing is that they were in the playoff hunt up till last week, and Hurts is just giving them a better chance to win these games, at least from the eye test.
I don't know. We have differing opinions on this one. I don't want a big. I wouldn't want a big baby like Wentz the way he's treated the situation. He had poor play. He got replaced, and then he requested a trade. And
Well,
like,
he reportedly requested a trade. Who knows if he actually did?
yeah, but you don't go out and say it necessarily. He obviously did it through his agent, right? So it's just too many reports to say it's not true.
If there's a difference between him doing it and his agent doing it, and a report that he said it. Like it's, you can only judge him off what he actually says. Any of that stuff behind closed doors, who knows? It's so easy for reporters to just go out and say that he requested a trade without any.
Yeah, no, absolutely, right? Wow. Oh, I mean, you get 5 flags on one drive. That's what's going to happen.
Well, also there was hesitation with Sweat there that we didn't see from Chase Young, and if Sweat just blows straight through and hits Hurts, whether he keeps the ball or not, it would have been a different result. It's tough too, because as the edge defender, he's got the containment assignment, and it doesn't happen there. If he bites on the running back getting the ball, which he did, turns into a touchdown. This is good for middling plays though for the fans who have both sides. Now officially the end of an era. Is he done?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jets officially part ways with Adam Gase. He went 9-23 in 2 seasons. That 9-23, I think it looks better than he actually did. As a little side note, he hasn't showed up yet, but Dylan never managed to reach 500. So Dylan, he's 125, 127, and 3. If he pulls off the win in this one, he's going to be 1 game shy of 500.
Who did he take?
Let's take a look. Dylan is on Washington.
Well, I'm sure he does in some instances, Jay. But I mean, he just fell short. He's not short on confidence, that's for sure. But yeah, Baltimore hasn't had a success, but they're one of the better run franchises.
It looks like we have some scheduling, and the Saints look like they're going to be playing on Sunday.
Convenient.
I was going to say that Cleveland-Pittsburgh game was probably going to be the marquee game. I thought maybe it was between that and Baltimore-Tennessee. It looks like Baltimore-Tennessee gets the early time slot on Sunday.
I'm surprised. I thought it would have been Baltimore, Tennessee. Holy jeez. Gibson.
Oh, Al Michaels is
They just
back.
brought it up on the broadcast.
Yeah, Corey, they just showed it, the schedule on the broadcast, so I think it was probably just released right now.
I'm very impressed, Jay. It was really nice. I didn't want them to win by 11 or more, which didn't happen, thankfully, but I really wanted them to win. That's intentional grounding. That is intentional grounding. All right. If you're going to let him off with that one, I'm happy about it considering all the other penalties, but that was intentional grounding. Wow. Wow. That wasn't even close. I don't know what they're looking at. Yeah, I'm really excited about the Browns. That was great. It's just great. I thought they were going to blow it, though. I really did think they were going to blow it. I wasn't emotional at any game this morning, but that one I thought they were going to blow it. Thankfully, a 2-point conversion didn't happen. Yeah, I know. There was another one that was like it's just everything with them. I disagree, Taylor. I'm one of those weird guys that doesn't really believe in it. Did Smith hurt himself? Ah. This is one of those things where I'm almost indifferent whether Washington's offense or defense is on. Oh, he tripped on 75. Brandon Scherf, the only All-Pro on this Washington football team.
Philly set up for a fake. Only rushing 4.
And a bizarre time to take a fake. Hello, Rick. How are you?
What's going on, Eric? Thank you, Corey.
Yeah, yeah. You'll be doing it after, right after this broadcast concludes.
Well, hell yeah, we will. We're also gonna have the playoff calculator. That's why I'm trying to get some of the odds for that, so we can showcase it to you guys and get some of you guys set up in the Discord, ready to go, so you guys can make your projections on what you think the chances are every team wins the AFC, the NFC, the Super Bowl. See if there's any opportunity. So if you guys haven't yet, make sure you join the YouTube membership, sign up for the Discord, and get onto that NFL playoff calculator. We'll be doing opening lines for every playoff game, and even if they don't have lines up, Fat Guy and I will be able to make our own projections on what we think the line will be and where we think people will go. Yeah, that was wild, Corey. We couldn't believe it either. Just mathematically, like, yeah, they could be the better team, but just mathematically, it doesn't make sense. If you have to play an entire one
Yeah,
more game, then
one more game.
it just doesn't make sense.
They're really going after Cole Holcomb 55.
Why do you want to see the Bucks make the NFC Championship, Josh? Oh, sorry to hear, Eric.
Again, attacking Cole Holcomb. This goes down to that old idiom. You're only as strong as your weakest link. It's 10-7 Washington. Philadelphia is kind of driving near mid-ish field, and they have the ball, obviously. Oh,
Nice throw.
yeah. And that was almost tipped by Chase Young, who is maybe a quarter second too late.
Washington's up 10-7, but Philly's driving.
As I'd mentioned. Nice stop, 93. Yeah, it looks that way, Corey Andy. That was like the only guy I didn't want to see in pursuit on the D line was 94 Deron Payne. There is no way that was caught. The guy who
That was really good from Hurts stepping up in the pocket, making that throw.
that's the best catch of 19's career. He got hit and the ball contested twice. And this is a guy who couldn't even make a catch last year. Yeah, -1. Wow. He's got to get in there. That's a hold on 31. Wow. I wonder if that's going to be a flag. Guess not. I feel like there was a hold on or 32. I want to see this again. Oh, that was nothing. That was a nice play. Wow, that ball really has English on it. I don't know. It's a long game, Taylor. It can be, Mickey, absolutely. Just surprised they didn't have a spy in for this, considering they knew they were up against. That first drive they had that scored points was really unfortunate, though. 5 penalties to extend the drive. It could have a cascading effect on the game, considering the possible fatigue of the defensive line of the football team. It ain't over yet, Corey. We still got a half and a bit of football. I don't know, Tony. It's an interesting point. There are a lot of reports. Big Rye doesn't give him any weight until it's actually came out. But I think Wentz is smart enough to not not air his dirty laundry. But if it's going through his agent and if any of that's true, I wouldn't want him on my team. So it's very interesting because I don't know. In my opinion, if it's true, that's if it's true. To me, it's like if you perform poorly, you lose your job, and then you want to get traded. It's not really the guy I would want on my team. So. I don't know if we'll do Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, definitely Sunday. Done every Saturday would be up for review if anything. They have the masked dancer now. I mean, how are you supposed to guess when you have no like clues? I mean, they're really finding roles for Paula Abdul to fill. 14 unanswered from the Eagles. It looks like we have a reasonable return. Not quite getting to 25, though. This would be nice for Washington to finish with points and run the clock completely out. Yeah. McLaurin with a reasonable grab for looks like 5 yards. No need to rush here whatsoever. 3 timeouts for both. Wow, Eagles made a nice read on that play. 58 and 37, only able to move the ball maybe a yard, if that. This is a tough 3rd and 5 here for a Washington offense that was humming in the beginning, but it's kind of staled. It's a sack here by 49 here. Alex Singleton, wow, doing the rock and roll. Eagles with quite the comeback effort so far here. I love guys with the number 40. Oh, he just plowed McKissick. That's interesting. I didn't know you could take the quarterback like below the knee. I thought that was a thing, or maybe that's I don't know. I don't know how that rule actually works. So San Fran covered. They sure did. Every line available. I still don't believe it, Taylor, but that's okay. It's going to take more than a game for me to buy in. See this? I would imagine this is against Philadelphia. Yeah. Two-minute warning as well. Yeah, it has been a little bit quick here. Yeah, what's his name? Andy Dalton did that last year as far as the Carson Wentz thing. Andy Dalton said, trade me. Like, he was angry that he lost his starting job after the trade deadline so he can get traded. And I just think that's really, really, really hokey. Like you lost a job because of performance, like not any other factor, right? So I can't like you just because you want to be a starter somewhere, that means you deserve it. And then point in case he faced a soft market and he got lauded to become a backup, which ended up being a starter because of injury. But you know what I mean? Like, he should have been humbled a little bit and he wasn't. It was bizarre to me. Like, Wentz has a better a better career, a better resume than Dalton, so he's gonna get another start right away, I would imagine. But I don't really like that attitude, because how could he honestly show up to his teammates and tell them that he's a better option than Jalen Hurts right now? I think that's not really feasible. Eagles are going to get another chance here to run the score up. We'll see if they're able to put it on. I couldn't say, Taylor. It's very difficult. So a good interesting thing is I hope they have a preseason so we can get maybe a little look at him to see if he's still a mobile player, right? Because that was a big part of Dak's game was not just he is a good decision maker, but as far as mobility was a part of his game. So he's not nearly going to be as good if that's taken away. Washington could get another possession here, considering they have 3 timeouts. So let's see how they do here. Wow. That was a bizarre play. I want another interception as well. That was a little bit more what I'm used to from our Thiga Whiteside. But he did make a play that resulted in a touchdown, more or less. That highly contested catch from the front and back. You're ahead of us, Taylor. Don't forget. I'm still on 3rd down. It's usually like a 30-second gap. No catch. 4th down, 3 and out for here we go. And Washington has 3 timeouts. That was about as good as it could go, realistically, because they didn't even take any time off. That was 3 pass plays that were all incomplete. That was 152 or 154, I believe. They started the drive at, so they didn't even take 20 seconds off. Yeah, reasonable field position to start with. Some soothing blues on the broadcast. I see a thank you, Antonio. That could mean good things depending on how far back we are here. If you're a full commercial ahead of us, I am the broadcast. Yeah. A little Hall and Oates. Nothing wrong with that. I prefer She's a Rich Girl by Hall and Oates. What's the other one they have? Man Eater. They got lots.
It's unbelievable that if this score stands right now, the 6-10 New York Giants get to host a playoff game.
Yes. Hall and Oates is from Philly. I didn't know that. Yeah, 5-11. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kiss on My List is a good one. I forgot about that one. Seems like a wedding song almost. Yeah, it's not that 500 miles one thing or whatever, but I feel like it's on there. And the chicken dance one or whatever. You're gonna have to wish for a lot for that to happen, Taylor. I didn't see a butt fumble recovery today yet. I can't believe they're taking this long to get back. Like halftime is right on the cusp. Oh yeah. Wayne Gallman. Hey, McKissick gets out of bounds. That's okay. Bon Jovi's from Jersey. Is it like what part of Jersey? Like the close part to Philly, like Cherry Hill or something? Yeah. Well, I can't. The Browns almost browned.
Washington still has all 3 timeouts for this half.
Wow, this is going to be a key third down here. I can't believe it's been going to be 3 possessions with less than 2 minutes if they fail here. Yeah. Makes sense. Really nice play. Really nice play, Washington. I don't know why the clock isn't moving. Is there a timeout?
Washington probably took a timeout.
They did indeed take it. I got a variety of bets on this one, Zitphono, so mostly involving Washington's success. So it would be nice to see some points at the end of this half.
I got no skin in the game on this one, Zid. It's just 5-star entertainment for me.
You got it. Wow, what a screen. Oh, man. Why would you cut around 57? 73 is there. You just have to run behind him. Oh, you see that?
The second time that Sims's vision is left us wanting more.
Yes. Oh, that was so bad. He had an easy first down and then some. Like,
Nice
all he had to
catch.
go was run straight. That was it. That was a great design screen. Now we're in another third situation, which I don't really like with this team. Got to be an encroachment. Nice. Good play.
There hasn't been. I haven't made too many bets yet. It's more market research right now, more so than actual betting. I made one bet today on the T-Wolves, but it looks like they didn't manage to cover. I think they lost by 15, and I think they were like 9-point dogs. Not at all, Zit. There's still like I still want a much bigger sample to pull from. I don't want to make any early conclusions quite yet.
Go to bounds. Nice. Nice job. Wow.
Yep, we're going to be doing hockey as well. So we're going to be doing daily betting market videos for the NHL as well as the NBA throughout this season. And then when we do find a little bit more, we're going to do some more in-depth videos for our YouTube members. So make sure to subscribe to the YouTube membership if you're interested in getting kind of like the science behind some of the things. But if you just want the numbers, the base numbers of what the market is going to be, like a report, then definitely recommend just subscribing and watching those videos.
Good job throwing it away there, Alex Smith. Oh, Sims was open in the end zone. I didn't see that. Wow. Oh, there was a hard F word there from Alex Smith.
They still have one timeout, 2nd and 10, 26 seconds left, so they still got lots of time to put this in.
Are you serious with that catch? Wow. Wow. That was unbelievable. That was a basketball play. That was an offensive rebounding. Holy. Oh, man.
Logan Thomas went from being like a guy who was questionable to
fringe
make
roster.
your roster play, like essentially a guy who might not be on on any roster, to all of a sudden one of the premier tight ends in
top
football
10 tight end, top 6
over the last half of the season.
Obviously, you're not putting him ahead of Waller, Kelsey, Kittle, but I mean, you can make a case for every. Wow. And look, they left 20 seconds on the clock. Golf clap. I love that kind of stuff. You know that. That's how you do it. I'm going to be using the restroom. I'll be back, gentlemen.
Yes, the contest is an interesting way to kind of self-reflect on your handicapping skills. And the other thing too is like you would never bet every single game. So using your contest picks as like a barometer to how good you would be betting on a season, it's two completely different things. Otis Fat Guy's on Washington -1, I believe is what he got his bets down at. I didn't get anything. I was waiting till closing lines, and the closing line was 6.5 for Washington. So I didn't. I wasn't going to take Washington at 6.5, and I didn't. I also didn't want to take Philly in this game. Yeah, they're two different things. Like it's it's good to check how you would do in every game, because it allows you to stay sharp on teams and where the market should be. But you should do your own, where you're just following along on even imaginary bets to keep it interesting. It's one thing to put pen to paper on what you'd actually put down, right? Because that's kind of what gambling is you have to lock in your bet before the start. You hear so many guys go like, "Oh, I would have went 6-2," but it's like they're picking and choosing what games they would have picked or not. But it's hard, like especially at different juices, like yeah, like paper trading, exactly. Oh yeah, physically putting money on a game is definitely going to help, but it's one of those things where we're trying to teach people how to become better at betting on sports. Yeah, Otis, I did see that. Billy Walters is a pretty interesting guy. That was a good story. Yeah, it's not something that a lot of people like to keep track of, and then people jump in the game, and when you have skin in the game, you realize that it is really, really tough to be on the positive side when betting sports. I appreciate it, Taylor. It's nice of you to say. That's too bad about Billy Walters. Oh, it says that he's out of prison as of May 7th. Oh, he's going to finish the rest of his 5-year sentence under home confinement in California. Insider trading in 2017. Weird. Who would have thought a guy like him would get caught for insider trading? Yeah, the whole point to his story was he never had a losing year, which is, if true, impressive, but hard to measure. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it, Taylor. There's safer ways to make decent return on your money rather than sports betting, but at the same time, if you bet sports the right way and you put enough research in, you can make a very good return, but it's very, very rare. Yeah, Billy Walters was linked to Mickelson. Sports gambling is kind of ironic because if you have enough money to have a large bankroll, then you probably don't want to be risking it as much as you could do on sports. But I don't know. That's just me. I think the stock market is safer. I think sports gambling is more exploitable, but the stock market is safer. I think for an average Joe will make money in the stock market, whereas in sports betting, like there's really only like 10% of people that are making money. So you could put the research in to learn how to become one of those 10%, but 90% of people are probably losing. Hence why contrarian betting is as successful as it is. Sports is a much faster result. So that's why there is a lot more risk. Even something like even Fat Guy and I right now are using Zoom. I know Zoom went up quite a bit. It's like some things are pretty straightforward. It's like too easy to be true. It's actually, it's hard to, yeah, like at the start of March, Zoom was worth 117 and it is currently worth 337. So it almost doubled. Well, it did double, more than doubled. Otis, I grew up a Chargers fan thanks to LaDainian Tomlinson, and then I became a Browns fan when the Fat Guy and I started doing this stuff back in like 2012. Just because there was always so much opportunity betting the Browns against the spread, but this year the Browns have been quite a popular team, so the teams that I've enjoyed betting and watching are the Washington football team, the Carolina Panthers, and there's one more. I have to take a look at the league, strangely enough. And the Miami Dolphins. Those are the three teams that I've really enjoyed watching this year.
What's that?
Otis was just asking if I have a team that I root for.
Yeah.
I've never once. Well, I shouldn't say I've never once. I probably really liked that. Actually, to be honest, Dallas was probably the team that I liked the most first, back when they had Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irving. But that's,
You were like 7.
yeah, that's the when I played the first football game I ever had was Tecmo Super Bowl or Tecmo Bowl. And I would always pick Dallas as my team.
Oh, really?
It was, yeah, I can't remember. They had a player whose last name was Maryland, and I always used to human control him, and I'd have like 10 sacks a game with him. So I'm not sure who it was off the top of my head.
Charles Haley, something like that.
I think it's Russell Maryland.
Oh, it was actually a guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
he
trying
was
to
actually,
think.
now that I look, see, I didn't know this as a kid, but he was the first overall pick in 1991. So I just so happened to probably pick one of the best players in the game to rush the passer, and it just turned out pretty good for me.
I'm trying to think of what team I played on that. I thought Maryland was a bust. Anyway,
He might have been, but like for instance, like I was born in '87. He was the first overall pick in 1991, so I would have been 4 or 5 years old when I was deciding to
Yeah,
to play with him. So I probably didn't know that much. I probably wasn't playing when I was 4 or 5 either. It was probably closer to like 7 or 8. See, I didn't know about Bo Jackson, so I never exploited that. Yeah, Mickey was the Niners Tecmo. That game was awesome. That
It
game
was awesome.
That game was really good.
I sold that, and my friend who I was at his house today, he has it, and I sold it all for $200, and I had like 5 controllers, the gun, everything, and probably 25 games. I'm choked now. I wish I had it back. It's the only regret I have, I think.
Oh, you could still buy one up. I'm sure it's not that expensive.
You think so? You think it's less than that?
I think so. It's just so easy to get your hands on games now with emulators that
Yeah, I guess that's a good point.
yeah, Mickey had Pong, so you can guess how old Mickey is.
Yeah, yeah.
I've actually right here I've got all my different gaming systems. I'm a big video game nerd, and my favorite is the my TurboGrafx. That's my favorite system.
Yeah, you're the only guy I know that had that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, we had one other friend that I went to elementary school with and was good friends with. He was the only other guy I knew who had one. Otis with a nice shout out to Bonk, which was like the I don't want to say it wasn't unique to TurboGrafx, but it was one of the more popular games on
we played that like probably 4 years ago. It was great.
Oh, I've played a ton of Bonk. Otis is one of the only other people I've ever met that had a TurboGrafx. My favorite game was I think it's called Parasol Stars 3 or something like that. Here's the cover art to Parasol Stars 3.
Oh yeah, that game.
That game I really enjoyed. And then some Bonk. Bonk's a fun game to play. I like it. They actually, I watched a video recently that they tried to do a like a reboot of Bonk, and it failed miserably. It didn't even make it to market. So these guys got their hands on an alpha version of the game, and it was really bad.
Oh, Blades of Steel. Woo! Love Blades of Steel.
Is that what we play at on that arcade system?
I don't think so.
At our
Oh no. That one's much new. Blades of Steel is much older. We play Midway 3-on-3 or 2-on-2.
Oh, okay.
Open.
In case anyone doesn't know, Fat Guy and I are diehard NBA Jam fans.
Yes.
Probably explains why we have Tim Kitzrow as our intro. But him and I have played a lot of NBA Jam, especially the On Fire edition, the newer version.
This is the funny part, though. We play it, and I'm the small guy, and he's the big guy. So I don't know how it works, but it does.
The Outrun was a racing game on TurboGrafx. It was okay. There was also a Victory Run, which was like Outrun. Boom shakalaka. The commentary by Tim Kitzrow on the On Fire edition is terrific.
That's very good.
10 points seems like too much, Tony.
Yeah, if I can get 10, I would take the. I would for sure take the Bears.
To me, whenever I put Outrun in, like that type of game, I'd play it for 5 minutes and then I'd get bored. Never want to play it again. I actually had a gambling game on TurboGrafx, like a casino game that was interesting. Like a 6-year-old kid playing gambling games, not even knowing what the rules are.
Yeah, yeah. I remember having it on DOS, my parents' DOS computer, blackjack. Jeez, little did they know what problem that would come spurn. Nice run to start. Wait. Was that a fumble?
The ball was out, but it looks like the play was whistled down. When Aqib Talib was doing commentary this year on the Washington football team game, he talked about how Alex Smith can really dissect you if you let him know what you're doing before the snap.
I mean, he would really know. Like,
yeah. And he was it was an interesting broadcast. He was talking about like the different coverages guys were playing and how they could be exploited, and Smith was doing it, so it's interesting.
I don't remember what game was that. It wasn't the Steelers game. I would remember.
It wasn't a marquee game. This was like a 10 a.m. Pacific time, buried under 9 other games. I was probably one of the only people watching it. As a color commentary guy, I think Talib is awesome. I think the thing that sucks, not saying like it's funny for this to say, but like I'm no expert when it comes to like all the stuff that happens on the field. So it's actually very insightful, I find, when you get ex-players talking about certain things that happen on the field.
A nuance.
Because the whole idea for color commentary is they want it to be like the lowest common denominator. Like essentially, like if you're someone who's never seen the game before should be able to watch a game and understand what's going on because of the color commentary, which is, it's a shame for people. Like I'm going to assume most of us, like if you're in this chat, you probably watch a lot of football, and it'd be nice to get some more knowledge, more so from the color commentary rather than it be so watered down at times. I think that's probably why a lot of people are in here, because they'd rather hear us talk about the game than the commentators. There's just not much to glean from. Oh, we love Alex Smith. Alex Smith was part of one of our first big bets together.
Yeah, our first big successes, realistically.
That's why they're muted, yeah. I don't feel like I missed too much. Once in a while, I wish I could hear like just like the ref calls, like what they say, but other than that, it doesn't really matter what's said on the broadcast. Yeah, we're going to record the fat guy's voice and play it for babies to sleep.
Yeah.
Shout out to
Delocated,
one of our favorite shows.
No. There were so many guys in between, Taylor, I believe.
Yeah, didn't they have Jeff Garcia in at one point?
Oh, yeah. They had like weird guy, like JP Lossman, I think.
I remember him being on the Bills.
No, it's JT O'Sullivan. There you go.
All right. So Steve Young, it looks like he retired in 99. And between 2000 to 2005, Jeff Garcia, Tim Rattay, and Ken Dorsey all started games until Alex Smith was drafted in 05. JT O'Sullivan did end up playing in 2008.
Reasonable vision from Boston Scott. You're absolutely right, Otis. Part of it was I've been taking bets on some of this stuff, so that changed it for me. You're absolutely right though. So if I've been taking bets, it kind of makes it a little bit different.
Yeah, Mickey, to me that's way more interesting. I've talked about it. I've talked about it plenty. Like I'm sure Fat Guy's heard this plenty of times. I don't know if anyone else has, but even like if they had like a pay-per-view style where multiple players were mic'd up and you could hear what's going on the field, I think that would be fascinating to watch as just a fan of the sport and the strategy behind a lot of things that happen in these games. And that goes for more than just the NFL. Like, I would love if I could watch like a playoff hockey game with
wow, that playoff hockey
with commentary from the players. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, because it could be very adult too, right?
Well, that's what I mean. That's why you'd have to do it pay-per-view, and which is unfortunate, right? Because you'd have to pay, but I still think it would be a unique experience once in a while.
You charge for $5, so that'd be fine.
In the NFL, it'd be fine. In a sport like the NHL, where they play 82 games in a season, it'd become probably the novelty would wear off, I'm sure. Also, it's probably me just being hopeful that there's a lot more interesting things said and done in a broadcast than there probably actually is. Stampeders legend, Jeff Garcia. God, Young is such an amazing player. He's a tremendous athlete. I just hope he stays healthy for a long period of time to be able to sustain this. Yeah, Herbert turned out to be awesome for them. I have no clue if who was supposed to be the starter there. What's the guy's name again? A former Brown.
Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah, like he's got to be healthy now, and they've just left Herbert in at this point. That's my assumption.
He lost his job.
Yeah,
and he lost it in the weirdest way. He got his lung punctured.
Yeah, by a doctor, by his own team doctor. Yeah, so
yeah.
Anthony.
Well, mind you, the Chargers' history with medical professionals hasn't been very good.
That is true. I do think that if the Chargers moved on from Anthony Lynn, I think they have a very strong roster to be able to be a much better team if they get the right coach.
I think, honestly, I think they're like a below average to above average like roster. I don't think it's gangbusters, although Herbert does add a little bit of a interesting metric, considering they really might have stability at quarterback, which I mean, I guess you could say they have with Rivers, but I think Rivers needs a stronger roster with him than Herbert does to have success.
Yeah, I agree. I think Herbert played really well, despite some of the lack of, well, just offensive coaching, I guess you could say. I've had high expectations for the Chargers defense 2 years in a row, and they've let me down 2 years in a row. It was kind of how Tampa was, and now all of a sudden Tampa's got a defense is playing a lot better this year than over the last 3 years, even despite some of the talent that they had. It hurt. Like, I know one player doesn't make a defense, but losing Derwin James, I think, is a bigger deal than people realize for the Chargers.
Yeah, and his speed might have taken a dip after the type of injuries he's sustained.
Yeah, he's missed a lot of time now, and he's still fairly young. I just don't, you hope for the best. You hope that he can come back and play at 100%.
Yeah.
Who knows if that's the case? I think San Fran's going to get kind of the Rams treatment, how they got treated this year. People were so low on the Rams coming into the season, and San Fran's going to be getting a lot of guys returning, assuming they're going to be returning healthy for next season.
Yeah. It's been a nice effort from a largely backup Philadelphia Eagles defense.
Yeah, not paying Gordon was the right play, and I think Melvin Gordon had a nice season. I don't know what he's getting paid in Denver. It can't be anything worth what he is getting contract wise.
$8 million, I believe.
Yeah, that's too much for any running back. I don't know how much wins Melvin Gordon added to the Broncos season, if any.
Yeah, 2 year, 50 mil. So yeah, 7.5. Then I thought it was 8. I thought it was 16. Close enough.
Cassone is officially the winner. He's 5 games up on Jackson right now, with only 1 game left. So we were doing the up to the regular season, and then we're gonna reset the contest for the playoffs. But Fat Guy and I haven't talked about if or what will be the prizes for the playoff picks against the spread contest. I didn't know that you could be a Shriner and a child at the same time, but hey, the more you know.
What a play 25 to bust that up.
I don't know why everyone's writing off Jimmy Garoppolo as as not the answer in San Fran. I think him coming back fully healthy with an entire offseason will be just fine. Garoppolo is still like a ridiculous
24-9.
Yeah, like 24-9 as a starting quarterback is.
And I think that's just with San Fran, actually.
I'll pull up his numbers. We're going to get a big run here from Boston Scott.
Wow, I'm surprised that hole was open.
So he's
Again,
24-8 in his career. 22-8 with San Fran. He only started 2 games with New England. So 24-8 as a starter. And his NEA, which is the metric I've been using lately for quarterbacks, is 7, which is, if we had to put his career against 2020 NFL QB. That would have put him at 13th this year as far as quarterbacks go. And he'd be in the range of Tom Brady, Phillip Rivers, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Russell Wilson, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Matthew Stafford. I think that's a pretty fair assessment for also a San Francisco team that is a lot stronger in roster, at least the last year and a half, than a lot of those other quarterbacks have on their team. Untouchable, we are going to be doing a playoff fantasy league, but we have to wait until the end of this game so we know what teams are in, and then we'll be able to...
That was a hold on 67. No flag? Wow. That was a bad one.
For playoff fantasy, we're going to be setting up a live stream for the draft. So hopefully we're able to organize the 8 contestants that are in. One of them is the fat guy, so that's going to be easy. We just got to get the other 7 people on the same page, which we found out is a lot harder to do than we wish it would be. So there's a chance we might be trying to fill some spots, but I'm sure we won't have trouble filling spots if we need to.
You might get first call. I do, yeah.
I've been impressed with Hurts' accuracy as a thrower.
I wonder how generous a spot they're going to give him. He's been really good at evading pressure.
Yeah, there's a chance, Otis. It really just depends on what the odds are, because the odds are going to reflect that they're going to get to play one of these teams, which is going to kind of hurt the odds. They might get the same treatment that the Saints got last year.
Nice stop.
I can't remember what the exact number was, but weren't the Saints 6-1 last year to win the Super Bowl?
It might have been 8-1, Big Rye.
But they had to play the wild card game, which was...
Yeah.
And then they had
Green Bay was 11 or 12-1.
Yeah, it's tough. We'll see. It depends on your book. It depends on the odds offered. And Otis, we have that calculator ready, so I'll be sharing that link so you can fill out that playoff calculator and see where your edge lies. That's one of the perks of being a YouTube member. Well, every quarterback needs help. Hurts has just been Hurts is impressive because it's kind of like the Russell Wilson stuff where it's like it doesn't even matter who his offensive line is. He's still able to make those plays.
Yeah, like the baseline for offensive linemen can be a lot lower with him. I mean, they really had a poor offensive line in Seattle for many years. It's a bit better now, but I mean... really no low net gain for the Philadelphia Eagles with that touchback. So...
Well, I'm getting a commercial to remind you guys to Cooper Cup up.
Yeah. Oh yeah, a couple of bros is in the chat.
I think we unlocked another spot for a new emoji. So what's the request that you guys have?
Wow. Andy Reid with the face shield, the fogged face shield. That's a good one. Mark Sanchez eating a hot dog. That's not bad either. No way. There is no way that's picked off. There is no way. I got to see that again.
Rodrigo Blankenship's face.
How does that even happen? No, it's that was crazy. That's a created wrestler.
Yeah, that's a created wrestler based off of the fat guy.
I can't believe that just happened. Like the defense has to go back on the field again.
Well, it's ironic because it was such a low risk play, and that's what it turns into.
That was just so lucky, and oh man,
Hurts is smiling in the like from the overhead. You could see him smiling before they called this play, so I'm interested to see what this play is like.
Scott has ran really hard today. I got to be real, and he's been like pushing it the pile, and for such a small guy.
Taylor calling for 14 more points for that over.
Great play by Zach Ertz. It's a lot of tight ends that are very, very good at blocking.
Audible at the line.
I don't think he got there. They're going to signal that. Wow. Nice play, 31. Interesting. This is probably 4-down territory, I'd imagine, for Philadelphia. I just feel like they're going to be more aggressive. Not that they need to be, but I just feel like that's more likely what's going to happen.
That's kind of been the MO
MO.
of Doug Peterson.
It's probably the right math decision.
Oh, it definitely is. Even from the 4-yard line.
Yeah.
The Bears decided to kick a 20-yard field goal today, which I was excited about. Sarcastically excited.
Wow. Let's see the decision. What a... Yeah, I called it. I'm going to minimize the chat. I want to get into this play. I don't know. I wonder what the chances are in this. It's probably 50-50, realistically.
Well, even if it's less than 50% chance, you're still pinning them deep.
Yeah.
You know, inside their own 5.
Wow. What a stand by the Washington football team defense. Wow. Well, I feel good about that call, but thinking they were going to go for it.
That's one
Sometimes
of the things that we
you're
like
dialed
about.
in.
That's one of the things that we really like about Peterson, as far
Yeah.
as his aggressiveness to go for it on 4th down. But that's just one part of coaching. Well, after that small victory, I'm going to be back in a few minutes.
Oh, I would. Jake saying the best thing. I would love nothing more than that. Absolutely. What are their odds? Though? I wonder if it's 100 or 200 to 1. Kind of similar to like how when Seattle did it as a 7-9 team, I believe. And Tony, to be honest, I was waiting for a flag. I'm very surprised that one didn't happen to the football team. What man? Why I'm going to shout out to this defensive performance. Realistically, one of them came from 5 field goals, but I feel like they've been on the field a lot and they've done just an excellent job. The offense hasn't sustained a drive realistically since the first quarter, and then it had a shorter field to deal with at the end of the first half. So hadn't done anything in the third quarter. Football team is a bit like the Titans last year. I think not as good though. Better defense, worse offense. I find it hard to believe the Titans' defense has been performing this poorly for this long. Like, it's just bizarre to me. Good job, McLaurin. That's a first down. Oh, so Al Michaels looking very miffed and saying, I love analytics, but then says you got to kick a field goal. That's making me think he's got Philadelphia in the points, but I think he's more of an over-under guy. So he feels very miffed into that. Al Michaels, a notable gambler. Of course, a results-based square, I would imagine.
It's really nice to see that that Washington picked up that key first down.
Yeah. I used to think everyone was overreacting, Jake, but maybe I've reached it's crossed a chasm for me with this Titans defense being weak. Wow. Al Michaels really miffed about this missed opportunity by the Eagles. This guy has played so well. Wow. Third and very manageable for the Washington football team here.
Happy to hear that the Warriors' contrarian play is going well, Zaps. And it's interesting because it was kind of drilled into probably everyone's head in this chat that defense wins championships, and the fat guy and I like defense and we cheer on defense and we like teams that have good defenses, but I don't know about the NFL and the rule changes. Like, you might want to have a team that can just put up 40 points a game, which the Titans can do. It's nice to have both. Like, you'd rather have a good offense and a good defense, but I don't know. It might be more valuable to have a better offense than better defense.
Well, at least as of late. The one thing that I can recall, a strategy I didn't mind in my earlier days, was one that New Orleans and Green Bay employed, where their defense was like a turnover defense, where they would gamble on turnovers. And because what they're trying to do is just get a turnover is essentially 2 possessions. So if they did get it, their offenses were so good they could put up probably an average of 3.5 to 4 points per possession almost, where realistically, so then that's a touchdown between the two. So then it was hard for any other team to keep up with that. So that was the that was what, the 2010, 2011 type era in there. Both teams were very much like that.
The I haven't done much studying into this, but I heard about it, and I always found it something interesting that I've always kind of thought about. And it talked about predicting season-long win totals for the NFL, that using the offensive side of the ball was more consistent than predicting the defensive side of the ball for an entire season. And I always found that kind of interesting, that it's easier to be more consistently better on offense than it is to be more consistently good on defense. Because even like who was the best defense last year? Probably the Patriots. I think they were pretty damn good last year.
They were good.
The entire thing I'm saying is that last year they were really, really good. This year they've been good, but they haven't been the best.
Did you know who had an oddly good defense last year? The Chiefs themselves.
Yeah, the Chiefs have been good this year too, but it's unfair to use the Chiefs as an example because they've had one of the best offenses since Mahomes took over. So it's
I'd say the best in the league, like one of they have all-time offense realistically.
Yeah. Mickey brings up an interesting stat here. He said in the Super Bowl era, there has been one team to win whose defense NEA was higher than the league average, and that was the Raiders in Super Bowl 11, if that's correct.
I don't know if he got it. It looked like he did. I don't know where they're spotting it. Wow, looks like Line Judge 106 is going to give it to him.
Yeah, the Titans D definitely hasn't been strong. But this is the thing about this has absolutely no correlation to any betting stuff. But I personally find, like, an opinion piece here, that usually the team with whatever the weakest thing is going into a playoff game type of thing is like the Titans defense all week gets to hear about how they're the weak link and they're so shitty. And it just feels like whenever that's the case, it feels like that group usually picks it up, at least plays well for one game. So to win a Super Bowl, it's probably going to be tough, but who are the Titans playing? Baltimore? Especially with how Baltimore's offense has been rolling, people are probably writing off the Titans D and talking about how great Lamar Jackson is all week. That's my guess. So I don't know what that has to do with motivation, or if anything, like Baltimore could still win by 40, but it's an interesting thing to keep in mind. Nice pitch and catch from Alex Smith to Terry McLaurin to make it 3rd and short.
Adoree Jackson got burned a lot. Third and 4 empty.
Looked like a rare drop. Oh, it's J.D. McKissick.
I'm surprised Titans are dogs in this one too. Oh, so close.
I think like a pick'em, or maybe like Baltimore -1, but like it's the Titans. There's a reason the Titans won their division, and there's Baltimore struggled throughout the year. Like, people are just taking the Ravens of the last few weeks and assuming that's what you're getting. I know Lamar Jackson spent some time not playing, but like he had a few weeks where he wasn't very good.
Oh, there's a flag at the line of scrimmage. That's always interesting. Hold on. Did they just say Sudfeld is going into the game? As in Nate Sudfeld? Yeah, he is. What? Oh, jeez. I think Washington's defensive, the chance of Washington having a good defensive performance from here out has just increased. Hurts is hurt. It looks like it. Nate Sudfeld in the game.
So the hopes of the Giants' playoff berth lays in the hands of Nate Sudfeld.
Against the Washington football defense.
That's Nate Sudfeld's music.
My God.
Maybe Eagles like their draft position. Yeah, maybe.
Suds up, boys.
Suds up.
Tony calling it. How many quarterbacks have been injured now playing Washington?
Well, at least two. I can definitely remember Andy Dalton getting hurt.
Yeah.
And ironically, that might have been the difference between Washington making the dance.
Joe Burrow. Kyler Murray hurt his shoulder against them. I'm trying to remember who else.
I might have to override all the emojis and figure out how to do a suds up emoji. Let the Nate Sudfeld era begin. Sud me up. Sud me up, bro. Pick 6, here we come for Washington defense.
This is going to be impressive. The other thing, too, is they can leave guys in the box for Boston Scott, who they've actually had success running the ball with. Sud for president. Dude, if you're the Giants, like, think about them, watching it together, whatever, and they're like, man, Nate Sudfeld's in the game, and then someone having a story about him, that guy wouldn't make a practice squad. Like, they're all just the energy level would dip. You know what I mean?
Even chat picked up pretty fast once Sudfeld was announced.
Sud me up. He's wearing Foles number and the gloves. That was almost a safety. That was almost a safety. And I'm wondering if that was grounding and a safety. Because did that reach the line of scrimmage?
It didn't, but there was a receiver.
There was a guy in it. Yeah.
So he I was having shades of who was the guy who ran in the back of the end zone?
Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, I was having Dan Orlovsky flashbacks with that play. I don't understand completely. Is Hurts healthy? Like, is he fine? Or is he injured?
This would be the ultimate fuck you to the Giants. Oh, that's right. I swore on stream, but whatever.
Hurts seems fine to me, so honestly, like, for Hurts, it's probably better to sit out the rest of this game because I'm sure he's very, very lightly penciled in as the starter for next year. Oh, we're gonna get a timeout.
We're gonna get a timeout here. If anything, a quarter of Nate Sudfeld against this defense would be good from a PR perspective. If you're Jalen Hurts.
You know what this tells me? This tells me that Doug Peterson feels very confident that he's going to be back coaching next year.
Or, that was the report that came out.
Or the opposite, that he knows he's getting fired and is falling on the sword on this one. Best 11 minutes of football ever. I guess it just depends.
Is this really an INT? Wow, they're ahead of us, but that looks good. This sounds like good news. I do have a bunch of Washington stuff. That was like a punt anyways. Wow, that could have been returned, but
Suds
I was hoping for a closer.
Everybody's excited for this. Max said, I have Alabama plus 120 to win CFP. Is it smart to hedge with Ohio State plus 8? It depends what the line is, but that would be a healthy middle. I'm assuming it's Alabama playing Ohio State. Is it just those two teams left?
Yeah.
I guess the Sud for there is over. It just depends how.
Punt right away. I need more Sud.
It just depends how risky you want to be, Max. If you have them plus 120 in a game where I don't know the exact college football spread to money line, but that's probably got to be like minus 240. So you got a pretty large edge there already.
260 even.
It really depends on how risky you want to be. I think if there's a market play to take Ohio State before kickoff, I say then I would do it, but otherwise I think you should just leave your Alabama. Can't spell stud without Sud. Washington needs to punt right away. You know what else is interesting? You guys bring up a good point though, is like Washington does it like they should just run the ball up the middle every play for the rest of this game. Bring in Peyton Barber, give him the ball, let him run for his 2 yards.
Keep Gibson.
Sorry, I forgot about Gibson.
You want to get first downs too, because there's still a chance.
Wow, really plugging Microsoft
Al Michaels
Surface
looks like he's
here.
taken on the chin. Looks like a big run here. Nice. 10 yards from Gibson. Washington defense just won me $500. Yeah. If you have it on fantasy, I mean, defense can go down. I do like the chance of Washington piling up a few more points.
Congrats on the win. Yeah, Michael's... you can tell. You can usually get. There's usually some tells on who he's taken by how he talks about the end of some of these games. I think over-unders are his favorite because that's usually what he likes to talk about the most.
Because he goes, he'll say that touchdown is only interesting to some people at this point. He'd say something like that. He does look like Mick Foley, a little bigger. The line for the Giants to make the playoffs live. God, I'm going to say, I feel like 12-1. 12-1.
12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1. 12-1.
little
I
bit better now.
Yeah, 12 to 1's too high.
I don't think so. This is crazy.
Well, I just spoke about how on offense they can be less risky, and somehow Alex Smith, one of the least risky throwers in the game, decides to give one to the Eagles. Second and 5 for the Eagles.
Got the ball back. Are you serious? The defense did it again? What?
Also,
Oh my God.
congratulations to
What?
Boston Scott for that tackle.
Yeah, you saved a touchdown. Dude, the Washington D is playing ping pong with the Eagles D.
I like how the most unlikely thing to happen on that play was Boston Scott tackling Chase Young to prevent a touchdown.
A touchdown. Dude, I gotta say, man, what a play by Sweat. And not only that, like, Boston Scott has played real tough today, man. Like, I always ripped on him because he was too small, I thought. But, you know, when you play bigger than you are, right? It's kind of like Mark Ingram. I always thought was heavier than he was, but he's only 200 pounds and he's short. And he's always played downhill. Too many suds on the ball. This is
Suds
crazy.
up.
Alex
Yeah.
Smith, don't screw this up.
Well, like, keep the ball on the ground. Like, you're playing the clock at this point. You're not, like, that's what you're playing. You're playing the clock.
What are these flags? Jeez, you can't do that. Morgan Moses.
There has been a lot of talk about, like, centers and long snappers are the best way to shave points off of a game, let's
Yeah.
say.
Or equalize a bit. That was a
Dude.
plot point in that Keanu Reeves movie, The Replacements. End the game now. I get the biggest win if they win by 8 or more. Wow, man. This has been the worst game I've seen from Alex Smith in a long time, but it might result in the victory anyways. I mean, it's probably better that it got batted down. Oh, they're going to get a field goal attempt here. 82 likes he got injured on the play. Tough, tough, tough. It might land on 6. Yeah, it might. If anything, though, I would be worried about Washington getting points as a result of the defense getting the ball back again. And, that looked like a deflated sideline on the Eagles offense too. This could miss too. It's not a gimme.
There's still a few possessions left in this game. It's way too early to say anything is written in stone, especially if Washington's going to treat their possessions like this.
Going to be choked if Eagles win? Yeah, I would be. I really want to see Washington in the playoffs. This is one of the worst. God, it's so weird. Boston Scott saved all these guys' middles. Everyone's middle got saved by Boston Scott tackling Chase Young, of all people. I think, Tony, you must. How much points do you have? Like a gap now, right? Like after all, like those turnovers and stuff. You like that's 4 points right there. You probably have like a 3-point gap now.
How many wins do you guys think the Eagles would have got this season if Sudfeld started at quarterback every game? Not you. I want to hear what Chad thinks.
Yeah, no problem.
You put up 162 points in fantasy, or is that over 2 weeks? Oh, we got some negative numbers with Sudfeld.
No, that might have been a PPR. Yeah, PPR. That makes sense.
So anywhere from 0 to 3 wins I see for Eagles with Sudfeld. Fat Guy, what do you think?
2. Going 2. I can't say 0. 2. 2.
Untouchable says the Eagles would have got 8-8 if Jalen Hurts played the entire year.
Holy! Did you just see that? Boston Scott trucked an off balance. Who is it? 97.
Tim Settle Jr.
How heavy is that guy?
I don't think you watched enough Geno Smith, Taylor.
308-pound man getting trucked by Boston Scott. Okay. He was off balance. I'll give him that, but
They almost completed that throw with Chase Young in his face.
Yeah. Good job on Chase Young not to get a flag.
This is one of the rare times where you don't want to injure the quarterback.
Yeah.
The entire sideline talk from the Washington defensive coordinators just got to be, all right, whatever you do, don't injure Sudfeld. He's got to finish this game.
29 looking for a offensive pass interference from Arcega Whiteside, but not getting it.
Yeah, Kendall Fuller getting beat.
By Arcega Whiteside. I can't, like 2 times now. I don't think that was a push off at all. He just got beat. Behind a little bit, but Sweat with a big sack. Need some Benny Hill music? Yeah. Wow, that was almost a fumble. That was almost a fumble when he wrapped the other arm around. Dude, Scott played that rough too. What's this flag though? They're pointing to the Eagles. Sweat with a big sack. Yeah, that's me.
Illegal block in the back, it looks like, on the defense or on the offense.
Yikes. Washington. This is going to be good for a Washington 6.5, 7 cover. Oh, they declined it. That makes sense. That's what I would have done. What is it? I don't know what it is. Third and what? Third and 12? 18? Holy. Who's playing interior pass rush? Oh, I guess Sweat came out.
Sweat's out, Kerrigan's in.
Yeah.
Chase Young's in. I think
I'm surprised Chase Young didn't kick in.
Oh, they bring the blitz up the middle.
Wow. Wow. That would be the only way that they could advance the ball. That's a good Jake with another metric that's interesting.
I hope that he would still make it if there were fans, and the boos would be amazing. You know what, ironically though, this might be one of the games where it would get cheers, because I'm sure
it would screw the Giants.
I know. Well, no, because I know Untouchable said, one, that he cares more about the draft position than anything else, because like they got nothing to win now, so you might as well get the best draft position possible. And two, yeah, it does screw the Giants. So Like, I don't know, is the hatred stronger for New York, or is it stronger for Washington?
It would have to. I don't know. Jay's going to tell us, but wouldn't you think it'd be New York considering proximity?
I think it'd be New York just because it's I guess a
It's New York.
larger,
That's why.
more public city, I guess you could say.
All right.
Nikki brings up a good point. Why even have a returner?
Yeah. Like, that's really the only bad thing that could happen, and it almost did.
I'm walking over here.
Yeah. All right. This is the most true thing I've ever heard. Well, I got a lock for tomorrow for $200. 8 hours of work. There you go. There you go. I love it. Assuming you don't get a pink slip when you come in. I guess nothing's a lock, eh? That was pretty well said, though. I got to be honest.
That is,
I might be repurposing that.
yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Yeah. Why is if they need a loss to get the 6th pick? Why don't they just call the dogs off? You know what I mean? Because that's the only unit that's been playing at all, really, for the Eagles. Oh, you're in a union, brother? Yeah, very difficult to get fired then.
I like how the Browns and Lions both made it in with losing records in 1982.
Oh, this is a big one. No, not as big as I thought.
Well, let's say like he's supposed to stay in bounds and he didn't, so that's a loss for me for Antonio Gibson right there.
He tried. He got thrown out. I thought it was going to be a bigger
There's
run.
trying and there's doing. You stay in bounds.
Holy.
Like, what do you mean try? Just like how Todd Gurley tried to stay in the field to play instead of scoring a touchdown. You either do or you don't. Okay, now you can throw on the yakety sacks. Holy smokes. Like, Washington has done everything since Sudfeld came into the game to not win this game. Like, a fumble snap under center
Smith
from
got
Alex Smith. At least the clock ran on that play. Like, this has been, whoever said this is going to be 5-star entertainment, the best 11 minutes of football, was right. I will say that. I think it was Tony Meatballs.
What are they going to throw here?
The answer is probably. The other thing that's so Washington is lining up to take a timeout here, which they might need. And then
Why
I'm
do they?
thinking, are the Eagles going to use a timeout? Like, are the Eagles just going to let this clock run out? Like, if they get the ball back, are they going to take knees?
I don't understand what's going on in this
game.
game.
Could you imagine betting Washington minus 6.5, and then the Eagles do everything they can to lose this game by a lot in the last quarter, and somehow Washington might cover the 6, or Philly still might cover 6 points?
That's me right now. I took bets on Philly. I'm gonna be fine, but I mean, Philly's gonna cover.
Philly has a chance to win. Never mind cover.
Yeah.
It's a small chance, but they have a chance to win.
If they called a timeout, why did they run?
But now, ironically, Washington actually has a decision to make here on whether they want to go for this on 4th and short.
Yeah.
Also, having Antonio Gibson run out of bounds a few plays earlier kind of screwed them over here with this 2-minute warning.
Why did they call a timeout? Why did they call a timeout to call a run play?
I guess
what
they
difference
weren't,
is
I
it?
guess
You're
they
going
weren't
to
certain. They probably weren't certain and then decided on the run. This is bad. This has been terrible from Washington. They fumbled a snap. They threw an interception. They
fumbled a kick. The
fumbled
punt
the return. That's been 3 major mistakes at the end here. Philly's doing it on purpose. Washington is just, they're stumbling into the playoffs, which is going to make me love betting Washington if they do make the playoffs, because this spread is going to move at least a point, or like it's got to move a point. So the math here saying that a punt is the probably better option overall. Also, I want to know how converting gives them a 100% win probability when Philly still has 2 timeouts.
Maybe Doug Peterson took one of those red bat phone calls.
Washington is at least going to line up to go for it. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to just get them to jump offside. Look at... And it happens. That had to be on purpose by Philly. I'm just saying that right now. That is... I never have once seen a guy jump offside in such an obvious jump offside play. And on top of that, the defensive player McGill even went a step further and hit the quarterback just in case it wasn't obvious enough.
Yeah,
already.
yeah, he did. Yeah.
So this was definitely planned.
No, Suds ain't seeing the field, Taylor.
I don't think they're going to call timeouts, Mickey. And the ironic thing is Washington's going to run the ball and have a chance to fumble it. So it looks like Philly used a timeout, which is ironic.
Oh my God.
The real losers are the fans. We don't get more sudsy.
Now, was that a timeout or an injury timeout?
Oh, we'll never know. Brandon Graham faking injuries to keep this game alive. Brandon Graham has a bonus in his contract where if the Eagles hit 5 wins, he probably gets paid a healthy sum of money. I could definitely imagine a fumble return for a touchdown. There's a team that the 6-win Giants beat twice is going to the playoffs. Wentz and Ertz talking about where they're going to play next year. Oh my goodness. It looks like the Eagles use their timeout.
I don't know how I feel. What if, like, are they going to kick a field goal, Big Rye?
I don't think they're within range.
Yeah, they're at the 34.
I really hope that they don't attempt a field goal. That's my thoughts.
This is it. That would be the weirdest. Yeah, what if they get 4 yards? This is the weirdest game ending I can ever remember.
This isn't over. There's like Washington's probably going to throw the ball here.
Why?
Which that's just my guess. That's how this whole thing's gone.
Are they going to kick a field goal here?
It would be like a 53-yard field goal attempt. Who's the field goal kicker for Washington?
Hopkins can do it.
Yeah, he could. Field goal is the riskiest thing they could do right now. Yeah, we've had plenty of things like that happen, Taylor. Just weird things happen in these games. There we go. Washington uses another timeout that they might
They are
need.
going to kick a field goal. I'm going to get a free roll here, I think. Oh, this is financially huge for me. I got to be not huge, but it'd be good. It's going to kill everyone's middle, so I feel bad about that. I'm getting a free roll. I don't mind if you guys win.
They got to make the field goal. Like there's no
It's
no
a free roll though.
guarantees here.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're going to kick a field goal when they come back.
I'm minimizing chat.
That's fine. I can keep you updated.
They're punting. Oh.
I think that's the smart decision. Sudfield has 56 seconds to go the length of the field. Look at all of these, too. Well, you know what? New York Giants win some games. Let's put it that way. They got no one to blame but themselves.
Don't be sorry. It's no big deal.
With how the last few minutes of this game have gone, magic could happen here. And Fat Guy, I do like your chances for getting some more points here from Washington's side.
No, I don't like it now. That's the safety would have done it.
I don't know. Suds up. The Giants can blame their entire organization. That's who the players should be looking at for being shitty. Is that a... I didn't get to see the end of that hit, but it sure looked like roughing the passer. I've never seen Eagles fans this happy.
Yeah.
Fourth down and 4. You think if they get the stop, that Washington will kick a field goal?
Yeah, right. Dude, I need an Aqib Talib play here.
Yeah, it's possible. I want to see the replay on that Chase Young hit. Thank you.
All right, last Aqib Talib try here. Yeah, we will be, Taylor. Fun, great having you.
We'll catch you wild card weekend, Taylor. Thanks for joining us. Game blouses.
Game blouses.
Middle. Mick, you can celebrate. I know quite a few of you got a middle on that. Congrats, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Nice work, guys.
Well, in the contest, Billy369 wins week 17, going
Billy with the comeback?
Billy with the comeback, going 12-4 against the spread. Cassone wins the $100 prize. He didn't even pick all 256 games, and he still managed to hit at 151 wins. Just shy, just a sea hair shy of 60%, 59.
I don't know what that sea hair is, but whatever.
Whatever. So congrats, Billy, on the T-shirt win, and congrats, Cassone, on the $100 prize. Guys, that's it for us for this live stream. We're going to be heading right over to do the opening line video for the wild card playoff games. I'm going to see if I'm able to live stream that one for our YouTube members. So if you aren't a member and you are interested in seeing that, jump on for the membership. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll have that picks video out probably Tuesday morning. We'll see. We might do it tomorrow and drop it during the day. But thanks for joining us, guys, and we will catch you later.
Cheers, guys.